Alright boys, Deus 2 HF2 Coil Beta 3.03. You know, you see all kinds of comments around the internet. Some of them, you know, well, let's just say this. Before this HF2 come out, if you was going to go dig gold rings, you were going to dig a lot of junk, weren't you? Ain't that correct? If you take a 14 kilohertz machine, or a 20, or an Equinox, or a fast multi-frequency Deus 2, or a Manicore, if you're going to go dig for gold rings, you're going to dig some junk, okay? Can slaw, pull rings, pull tabs, bigger foil. You're going to dig it. That's not changed, has it? I mean, that's the way it's been. But you got a few people on this around, you know, oh, that Deus 2 HF2 called that high frequency. You'll be digging every damn little old sprig out there in the damn wild. Well, I'm going to show you something this morning. Alright? You might not dig every sprig with this machine. And you might net you a gold ring or two, huh? How about that shit? Oh, I'm just a damn hick from the sticks, though. Okay. We're going to look at that 10 karat gold ring. I'll show you the ID in the meter on this machine. And we're going to look at that piece of foil right there. We're going to run this machine in the 89 kilohertz band. Now, this is not a perfect system. There never will be a perfect metal detector. Okay. But on rings that would be 4 inches and shallower, what I'm going to show you just might pay off for you, okay? Now, I'm going to run the machine at speed 1.5, okay? Sensitive program. You see that audio response there? I've got it turned to 1. Now, you might get away running a 2 on this machine. I'm just going to show 1. Alright. Now, the external speaker on this machine is 1 off of max. Alright. 6.8 is the disc. The silencer is 2. I'm at 90 sensitivity. Okay. 89 kilohertz multi-frequency band. This is not single frequency. I got an iron volume of 7 because we're going to look at that gold ring over there in another little scenario here too. Alright. Now, we're going back down here. I want you to see this. I'm in 4 tones. Alright. And I've got this ring and this foil coming in the same band. The first tone band. Meaning they give equivalent pitch, so to speak. Alright. I've got the iron turned to 100. Second tone band at 518. You see that? Max volume. The iron is at volume 7. Okay? So I've told you the settings on this machine. We're going to sweep this small foil here. You see the ID? That's the ID on the foil. There's the ID on the ring. But I'm in audio response 1. You notice that. Let's go back in here for a minute. Let's turn this audio response to 5. Now let's sweep this foil. You hear that? That's strong, ain't it? That's 2 inches over that foil. 2 inches over the ring. So there is a difference there. okay? But I'm dialing the audio response down to 1. All right? Now I'm 2 inches over the ring. Now I'm 2 inches over the foil. You hear that? I'm scrubbing that coil now with that foil. You see that down there? I'm scrubbing it. I'm scrubbing the ring. You hear that? 3 inches above this foil. You hear that? You can hear it, but you hear, that's 3 inches right there. You hear that? Here's 3 inches over the ring. You hear that? So you're getting signal, and some people may be wondering in this video, oh, sharpshooter, well, why don't you just try to notch that foil? Okay, you can do that. You can do that. But there's one problem. You're taking away some of this detector's grand capabilities when you do that. What am I talking about here? You see them 4 nails, they're actually elevated. Now, I've not even tried to see how high I could elevate those nails. Remember, I'm running speed 1.5 in the 89 kilohertz band, silencer 2. All right? 2 inches over the foil again. You can hear it in that camera, maybe 2 inches over the gold ring. You hear that? So you're hunting by sound. You're not even looking at the ID, really, are you? All right. So remember, I don't have any notch in this machine. I've took the notch out. Now I'm going to put this little piece of foil right there. See that? What happens here? So I'm sort of shit out of luck, huh? There's no real signal in there, is there? So if that was some smaller can slaw, probably the same thing would happen. But what happens when that ring is sitting in there? What happens? But we've got iron tone. You notice that? So I'm hearing this signal. Now, it's not the strongest of signals, but I've got iron tone. Correct? I don't have this low, and even notice how low that reports. That's the foil again. Here's the gold ring from 2 inches. You hear that, but you've got iron tone. Yeah, you got to pivot around this target. Hear how strong that is? But you've got iron tone with a signal. Now, the meter reading on this gold ring in here, I get like a 10 or a 12. And I believe I have iron tid turned off, okay? So you're not going to take this machine even running 89 kilohertz band. Yeah, you may hear stuff like that. That's scrubbing the coil on that foil, boys, okay? Now, if it was a bigger piece of foil, it would yield a stronger signal. But you're going to dig that with other machines too. If that foil was big enough where it was popping a 50 in this meter on this machine, it would probably sound a lot like that gold ring for strength. But you would dig that with any machine. If you're looking for gold rings, wouldn't you? See, there's people that makes comments about this machine and they've never even used it. Okay? They've never even held one in their hands. But now remember, you know, if you hit a nickel solo, you know, I can get one right here. If we hit a nickel solo with this thing, you know, this don't take you out of the coin hunting part. even looking for gold rings necessarily, okay? Here's that old nickel. Audio response 1. That's 5 inches over that nickel. There's 4. I'm scrubbing the foil. You hear that? 2 inches over the nickel. The ring and the nails. Hear how loud that sounds? Yeah, if you're in the wild and you're getting iron tone like that, you know, you got a signal that's crumbled up with iron tone. Listen. Hear that? Now I can change the tones on this machine. We can do that, I guess. Now here's full tones, and I've took the offset out. Here's the nickel. Audio response is still 1. Okay. Here's the foil. You hear that in that camera? Here's the ring in the nails. Now well, first let me sweep the ring with the offset at 0 out here so you can hear it. 2 inches above that ring. 2 inches above the foil. Barely can hear it. 2 inches over the ring, 3 inches over the nickel, 2 inches over the nickel. Now if I go in here, we'll turn the offset to 10. Okay, the foil from an inch above. The nickel from 2 inches. The gold ring from 3 inches. 1 inch on the gold ring, 1 inch on the foil. 4 inches on the nickel. Yeah, this is not going to get you out of digging bigger can slaw at 4 inches. But it probably is going to get you out of digging even surface foil. You hear that? I'm scrubbing now. I'm on top of that. I'm on top of that foil. That's as strong as the signal is. I'm on top of the nickel. Oh, Lord, you hear that? Just remember, when that gold ring is sitting right in here with a multi-frequency metal detector, when that gold ring is sitting right there, boys, that's tough as a corn cob, okay? And you know, this machine is no slouch in single frequency compared to other models. And what I mean by that is if we start running this frequency down, there's 19 kilohertz. Alright? 19 kilohertz with a 6.1 disc. Silencer, we'll just say you're smart enough, good enough, you can run it at silencer 0. You hear that. You hear that. So that baby right there were AT Pros F75s. Even this call at 19 kilohertz. It could still be out there, couldn't it? And why is it out there if the place has been hunted? Well, I just showed you. I just showed you. Watch this. We'll go back here. Sensitive program. Now I swept it at 89. You hear it there. Now I just went to 53 band. That's 53 kilohertz band. What do you hear? You don't hear anything, do you? Iron tone. But that 89 kilohertz band, that's 2 inches over them nails. But remember, that's not a heavy duty hit, but it's covered up with iron tone. That's your key. Suspect. Don't believe the meter. Oh, by the way, you know, you could toggle to like 20 kilohertz single frequency and sweep that. And you're like, wait a minute, I'm not getting no signal. Uh-oh. That's a target that a lot of people may have swept over and never heard. I think I'll dig that. Now, that could still turn out to be a pull ring down there. Could. But it could turn out to be a gold ring too. That's going to conclude the video.